I should probably have mentioned it in the last video, but I suppose it's been obvious for a while now that we have made the playoffs. We have to play the whole of the playoffs. We didn't manage to skip any rounds. We finished 6th in the end, which was, I think, 1 or 2 places higher than last year. But as I say, we still have to play the main rounds. That was always going to be the case. We made a bit of a step up from last year as well, and that was pretty important for me to do. One of the things I want to do in this save is try and make sure that every season, league-wise, is slightly better than the last. Whether I can keep that up throughout the whole save, I doubt it. But that's kind of the goal, if you like. So in the first season, we got 58 points. We managed to improve that to 63 points this year, which is a marginal improvement. It's not a huge one. I would like maybe 4 or 5 more points at least. And certainly another 7 points would have got us into the later rounds of the playoffs, which would have been nice. But it's a good start anyway. So we're going to be starting the playoffs today with the very first round of the playoffs, obviously, and we're playing away against Foggia. So it's going to be a tough game. They've been got the team that's been pushing for promotion for quite some time, for both of the seasons that we've been in. So that's something we're going to have to try and make the best of. So we'll be back in a second, and we'll see whether we can make it up at the second time of asking. So here we are with the game day against Foggia. Just trying to see whether we need to make any major changes. This was the same team we had for the last game. There are a few people I think I should be bringing in. Rolla is going to continue. He's had a good start to his career. The last game he had, he played really, really well. Rolla, one of the men of the match. When you consider he didn't score or assist, he's had a very good game there. So he's really starting to look like a really good player. And I'm very, very confident that he is going to become a very, very impressive footballer for me. And I think that is probably the team that we will have. So let's quickly go to a tactical meeting, give them some opposition instructions. I'm going to stay balanced. I don't think I want to go positive away at Foggia because it's not an easy game. Not saying we can't beat them, but it's not going to be easy. I'm also going to play Deramo instead of Dehirovic, I think. And Celli for Di Matteo. That should be enough. Right, okay, so off we go. For the second time, we are in the playoffs. We did manage to win our first round playoff match last year. This is, I fear, a slightly harder version of that game. Away from home in our nice purple shirts. Purple's my favourite colour, so I do like these kits, I have to say. It's a shame how I can't get the real kits on there. And once again, if anyone does know, please leave a comment down in the comments if you know why I can't get my kits onto the game. They don't seem to be working, even though I do have them. They do exist. If you have a look at episode 1, you can see them in all their glory. Thanks to Tarantino UX, I think it was, who did those ones. Still no shots for us yet. They had one, but it wasn't highlight worthy. So this is the first proper highlight, really. Gioldi back to Gut. Who was that? Gut. Daniels finds Capani. Oh, that's our first proper chance of the game. It's very much a shot on target. It's only 0.13 XG, which I'm surprised about. But certainly looked like a pretty good chance to me. Rocca comes forward now for Foggia. Can we keep them out? Pianetta Rocca. Celli makes a nice tackle and concedes a throw in, but that's all right. Zantaro semi-cleared, but Rocca to Zambataro and goes over Tonti's. So half time has arrived. Not a huge amount of action in that first half. We did have a little bit of pressure put on us towards the end. But the graph is a little misleading because even though it looked like Foggia really dominated, their XG was still only 0.37, so nothing to worry about. It would be nice to see us creating a bit more, and Rolla's having his first really poor game. Might just give him a bit of encouragement. Always like to see my youngsters succeed. It's always one of the real joys of FM when you have a player come through your ranks. I always put that star in or something similar. Giudici, they're a former player, by the way. You put the star by their name, and if they do well, it's always nice. So I was particularly happy to see him score that debut goal. It was really nice. Even if we didn't win that day. I think we lost, didn't we? Zambataro finds Kutjo. Zambataro crosses it over, and it goes over the bar. We definitely are on the back foot to some extent. We've only had one shot. And whilst it looked to me like a very, very good chance, wasn't converted. Rolla crosses the ball. Ultramarine doesn't quite get their head on it, but Rolla does look dangerous. Celli. Clear to Jubilato. Gioldi to Capani. Nice 1-2 with Rocca there, but then Capani gives it away. Joldy to Capani again. And Ultramarine shoots. And, oh, he's put it wide. One thing I haven't checked is I assume that we need to win this game on the basis that they're going to have a higher rating than us. But let me just check. No, we win. We have a higher seeding. Capani. Joldy. To Rolla. And Capani again. Takes it wide. And Rolla's there. Oof. Would have been great to see him score in the playoffs. It's just passing it around, which is it's nice to see, but it's not going anywhere. Giudici picks the ball up now. Zambataro and Pina heads the ball over. Now, half an hour to go, and it's getting to the point now where if they score, I'm going to be really worried because we won't have very long to get back into it. So I'd kind of like to see us score now, really. I'm going to bring on Paolini for Gildi. And Colombo goes through. Tonti has made an absolutely super save there. Giudici, Giuliotto, what a save from Tonti there. Keeps us very much alive and kicking, but we do need to start creating something. We've created very, very little in this game. I think there's only been one proper highlight for us. Or maybe two. Capani to Ultramarine shoots, and Alastra makes the save. But that was more like it. We need some more shots like that, please, boys. Right. It's time to take Rolla out of the firing line. Not yet. I just feel like he might come up with the goods. I'm going to bring on Castelli instead. Giuliotto to Castelli. Gets the ball away. One of the first things he's done. It's disappointing. Press is not quite there at the moment. Should be pressing a bit more than this. Esposito to Cuccio. Benino out wide to Zambataro, and this does look dangerous. Tonti picks up the loose ball. That's not too bad. Now remember, a draw is good enough. We are the higher placed team, so I'm actually going to try and be a bit more defensive now, because what we don't want is to concede a late goal and find ourselves knocked out. Castelli, not sure what that was, but it wasn't good. Time to make some subs, I think. Who can we take off? I think we take off Celli. Allievi. Rollers through. Keep thinking I should take him off, but he does. He just looks dangerous to me. Giudici crosses the ball. Deramo. Good clearance there. I am going to take Roller off now for Nesta. Castelli. Nice if he could score now before he comes off. He's still on the pitch at the moment. Giuliotto to Roller. Into Deramo. And that's a poor ball through, and Alastra picks up the ball. We are deep into injury time now. I can't remember. I think it might be extra time. I don't think we are seconds from going through. I think we go to extra time first. Yes, no, we don't even go to extra time. We go through. So not great, but it gets us through. So I mean, it's actually exactly what happened last year. Thinking about it. It's not really the way you want to go through. It's a very dodgy rule, but we are through. And I will be back for the Taranto away game in 4 days' time. So here we are. It was actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. I probably could have stayed on the on video, to be honest, but we've cut it anyway. So here we go. We've got Taranto away. Keep it the same, I think. I just want to keep us playing the same way. Keep the team ideally the same. That's certainly the plan. Whether it will stay that way, I don't know. But that is the plan. I think Vittorini, having said that, will come in this game for Giuliotto. Wasn't entirely fit for the last game, which is why he wasn't playing. I think the rest of the team, though, can stay as it was. And we'll see what happens. So, second round. Can we get through another round and see if we can really kick on towards that Serie B place in this ridiculously complicated and convoluted playoff system, which does seem unnecessarily harsh. We've got, even if we were to win this, we then have 1, 2, 3, 4 more games to win to reach that Serie B promised land, if you like, which does seem unbelievably difficult to do. As I've said before, I'm not sure I could ever really see us winning these playoffs because there's just so many games. It's hard to imagine doing it, but we will certainly be doing our best. I'm not going to give it up. So far we haven't had the ball, but now Rolla takes it and nothing comes of it. And Ultramarine heads it down to Capani. Rolla, what can he do? Didn't have a great game last game, but he has looked promising, and that's a nice cross for Capani. Good start from Rolla there. Does look exciting, doesn't he? Ferrara. Rolla had a chance to clear it there, but didn't quite take it. may have to do a little bit of work on his defensive game, perhaps. Taza crosses the ball in, and great. It wasn't a great save in the end. It was actually headed over the bar by Morrow. I'll take that. The marking of Morrow needs to happen, I think. Ferrara. We're a bit under the cosh here. Martigagno, great save by Tonti. Really good save, but it does feel like a goal is coming from Taranto here. We need to start making something happen for ourselves. Demanded more, and that seems to have produced a fairly good reaction other than Shelley. Taz is through, and Tonti makes another save. Tonti's having a stormer here. Coming in as the first choice keeper only in the last 6 weeks or so, but he has done a good job. His predecessor just had a bit of a blip, really. Giovinco back to Arabat. Galli, Giovinco. They are still looking really threatening, and we can't really get this kind of pressure sustained. Martigagno, Tonti makes another save. He's having a stormer. Can he get us through this tie by himself? He would not really deserve it based on what I've seen so far. Cavalli to Arabat. Finds Taza and Martigagno on the outside. Can't win the ball back. Just letting them have this sustained spells of pressure. Martigagno, another save from Tonti. He was offside anyway, but he didn't know that. He lost a point of his score there. Seems like it for me. It seems like it was just because he was offside. Disappointing. We weren't great in that. I'm not particularly impressed. Let's see if we can do a bit better in the second half. The best thing to be said about that first half is that we didn't concede, mainly thanks to Tonti, Daniels, to Deramo. Hopeful balls forward are not going to cut it against a team of this quality, I don't think. They're playing patiently, but they are playing dangerously as well, because they are very good at keeping the ball, and we are kind of chasing shadows at the moment. When they do get through, they look dangerous, and that's dangerous. Martigagno, and it was coming. It's been coming for so long, and it was only because Tonti's been brilliant that we weren't behind already. And to be honest, I don't really feel like we are looking like we're going to get back into this. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to have to go a bit more positive. Maybe we're just being a bit too negative and inviting them on a bit, because virtually every highlight's been them in possession and looking dangerous. Whilst wasn't really expecting to go up because of these playoffs, I would like to see if we can make it an extra step further than last year. I think we got through one. We only got through one round last year, so I'd like to see us get through two this year. It's actually looking exactly like last year at the moment, where we got through the first game purely on the basis that we had the higher seeding, then we got trounced in the second game. And Martigagno, it was 2-0 last year. It's starting to look like we are heading for a very similar result this year, and it's frustrating because we're better than this, to be honest. We're definitely better than this. Sadly, it doesn't look like we are much better than this, because here we are, 8 minutes to go. I've made a few substitutions, but not looking like Sassi gets through, but that was a pretty tame shot. Just bring off Rolla, because he's not really had a great day today again. I always knew it was going to be tough, this game. And I knew that getting through these playoffs would probably be a long shot. I just wanted one more round. Castelli, make the last few minutes interesting. If we can get a goal now. Rolla can't quite get the cross or the shot in. His last contribution, in fact, before Nesta came on for him. And this is pretty much that, I think, because even if we were to score now, it doesn't look to me like we've got enough time. It was 5 minutes, so I suppose it's just about enough time, but we're not going to score now anyway. We haven't really threatened at all today. Never looked like we were going to score. It's a very poor performance, going out of these playoffs with a bit of a whimper. And that will be that, I assume. So that is indeed that. Really not a very good performance. Let's just have a quick check, see if there's anything we're aware of. Sassi, well, Sassi, I think, is probably done. He's definitely not been as good this season as last. 6 goals. I think we can improve on him now. It's a shame, because for me, he was the star of last season, or one of, certainly. Castelli, well, he's a lone player anyway. Castelli, on the other hand, I'm a bit more worried about, because he's got another 2 years with us, and, well, to say he's been underwhelming would be an understatement. I might see if I can push him to leave the club over the summer. We'll have to see. But anyway, we will be back tomorrow with a season review and transfer special. So just like last season, just to kind of look back on everything that's happened this season, the successes, the failures, what's happened, and so on. And as I say, we will be looking at the transfer window as well. There's certainly some work to be done. A few players we need, a few improvements that need to be made. We made a very marginal improvement this year, but it was very marginal. And to lose in almost exactly the same way in the playoffs as we did last year is really disappointing as well. kind of sums it up really. Even though there's been that slight improvement, it's underwhelming to say the least. So we need to really look at where we can improve this summer to try and push on and try and aim for that playoff place a bit higher up next year. If not winning the title, that would be like last year. That's sort of the aim. But I would probably, if you offered me second or third, I'd probably take that. Second or third, and we bypass all the way through to the quarterfinals. So that would certainly be a big advantage on this year and the year before. So that would be kind of like a minimum target. But really, I'd like to win the title this year because I do feel even with just from a quarterfinal, that's 3 games you need to win. It's a lot of room to make a mistake, even if you're the best team. So let's try and win the title next year. It's not going to be easy, but let's try and do it. And come back tomorrow to see how we make a start in terms of doing that, as well as a proper look back on the season. See you tomorrow.